Is someone cheating today?
Don't say that. I'm not cheating.
This is a box cake.
I told you it was easy. Do you know, every time you're on my show, I have to just like bring down the level, okay? So this is for your own good.
Cheating.
Hey there, and welcome to The Sugar Treatment, where we bake and heal together. My name is Anthony, AKA the Baking Social Worker. Don't mock me.
I'm
I
not.
saw that right over here in my peripheral. You know who this guy is.
I'm Sean, his husband.
My husband. Thanks for joining us today. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and email me at thesugartreatment@gmail.com. Let me know what you'd like us to talk about here on the show. Do you know what we are talking about today?
Voting.
You were very spirited. Thanks for wearing the shirt. I love
Yes.
it. We're talking about voting today.
Came prepared.
We're gonna get a little political. And guess what we're making? It's your favorite.
What are we making?
We're making a poke cake. A strawberry poke cake, and it's easy, very easy.
Okay, so poke cake, I think of pokey, which fish, poke bowls, I hate, and strawberry. So we're making pokey strawberry cake? That sounds disgusting.
We are not making poke. It's poke, number one. It's not pokey. And this is a cake, and it's poke as in poke, because you poke it and then you put the Jell-O in, the flavoring, and then it's gonna cool, and then you put the whipped frosting on, and then you put lots of fruit on top. It's gonna be so good.
I can stick to my diet.
You just said you wanted to get in and out before this. So
Don't
I'm
give
pretty
away the
sure
secrets.
Your diet is blown.
No, let's get started.
1 box of your favorite white cake mix, 1 cup of water, a half a cup of vegetable oil, and 3 egg whites. Now mix for 2 minutes. Now pour into your favorite cake pan. So our cake is in the oven. Again, that's at 350 for 29 minutes. So we're gonna check on that in a little bit.
Yeah,
But
it does look good. And
Does it?
I will cut off a piece before any of the fruit attack.
I want to talk about voting, and specifically, let's just start with this question. Have you always voted?
No.
I mean, I knew that, but
Yeah.
I know you out there are just aghast.
But have you always voted?
Absolutely.
Always since when?
Since I was 18, since I was legally able to vote.
Oh.
I have voted in every presidential election and every midterm election.
The first time I ever voted was in 2016 for Hillary Trump election. Presidential.
So, okay, but let's just talk a little bit about this, because I have always voted. You just started, kind of.
Just started,
And
because of you.
He's older than me. But, like, why?
He likes to think that.
It's a fact.
It's not.
So
Fake news.
It is the political episode. But really, why didn't you vote?
I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was important in my life. I really didn't have any kind of like connection to politics or
Yeah.
paid attention
Yeah.
until I met you, where you opened my eyes to it, and now I watch the news every single morning and I'm obsessed with it.
Which is too much for me, because I
It's too
can't even
much.
watch the news anymore. But okay, so but like, you just didn't feel like it pertained to you, that politics didn't have an impact on your life.
No. It just was like, oh, whatever. Like my one vote counts.
So you didn't think that your vote would count?
No, it's one vote. Me doing a vote doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. I remember when we had this conversation and you told me that you never voted, and I was kind of like that was my face.
Excuse me,
Like it was like, and I think I shamed you enough to now that you're always going to be voting. I will tell you, like, I have always not only was taking the lead from my parents and from my mom in particular, because she always voted. I remember because I identify as a gay person, again, surprise. Because I identify as a gay person, I remember when I was this was 2008. Yeah, this was 2008. Proposition 8 was on the ballot in California. And it was a major, major proposition. It was a gay marriage. It was basically the right to marry for gay people was on the ballot, and meaning that all the people in California were gonna vote on this measure. And I was 18 years old. I was a freshman in college. And I remember people picketing on the corner.
Didn't you go out and like march for that
I
too?
did. I mean,
sorry, I know you were going
before the
direction.
election. I'm talking like before the election. I remember people had stickers on their car, yes on 8. You know, and if you voted yes, it meant that you were against marriage, which was a little tricky with the proposition. But basically, the yes on 8 was just like this blasphemous, awful thing that I saw all over the place. And I remember they were yellow, and the signs were up, and I saw kids, you know, standing with their family on corners that had their like, you know, little picket signs up, and it was like a really difficult experience to live through. To know that there were people just so so publicly against it. Like taking such a stand, and I just felt so marginalized and so outside of the system that made me feel more compelled to vote. Like I have to, because these folks are over here. I need to make sure I stand up for myself and my way of life. And so yes, I did march after the election. Proposition 8 passed, and so it basically made gay marriage illegal in California. And fortunately, you know, the Supreme Court changed that in 2015, but it was a really difficult time. And I think ever since then, it was like, you have to vote.
But
you don't have
that's
a choice.
one thing about why it's so important about voting too right now, because look at our presidential situation where our current president could put someone in, yet another person in the Supreme Court, and that could sway the Supreme Court to either choose more of a liberal way or more of a conservative way, which maybe that wouldn't have been passed if it was more of a conservative way, and we wouldn't be able to be married and say we're married and share that experience with. Yeah,
I mean, like we're basically answering what my second question was going to be, which is why do we care about voting? And I mean, I told you, my story is 2008 was like a very pivotal year for me, and then 2015, like you're saying, you know, fortunately the makeup of the court was such that, you know, there were 4 liberals, 5 conservatives, and you had Justice Kennedy, who was kind of the swing vote. He was always the guy who was kind of in the middle. And fortunately, he sided with the liberals, but it was a 5-4 vote. Okay,
That's crazy.
It's by 1 vote on the Supreme Court that we were able to get married.
But don't you think that's crazy that by 1 vote there was still half of the opinion saying no, that we can't get married? I know it's crazy, but I'm just thinking that, like, I think that's the one thing in politics. There's always going to be a yin to the yang. Yeah. There's always going to be the opposing side, and that's okay. Because there's always different people.
We can have a different view. We can have a different view. And the people that don't believe in gay marriage, like I get it that it's the way that they grew up. It's their culture. Maybe it's a religious thing. I just say, like, if you don't believe in it, then don't do it, right? Like, but your beliefs should not get to dictate the way that I live my life. Right. You know,
but that is why it's so important to vote.
That's why it's so important to vote.
So that way your voice is heard.
Yeah. You need to, the way that we express how we want to live is through our vote. That's how a democracy works. Now that my cake is out of the oven and cooled for about 5 minutes, I'm just gonna take this meat fork and poke it about every inch. For this recipe, I mixed my Jell-O with just 1 cup of boiling water. And next, we're gonna pour this over our cake into the holes that we poked. Now we're just gonna put this in the fridge so it can cool for about an hour, and we're gonna make our whipped topping. 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. Beat until thick. Next, I'm gonna gradually add a cup of powdered sugar to the heavy whipping cream.
Is it done?
It's done, yes.
Can I try it?
Get out. Is it good?
Mm-hmm. What next?
We have to just put this, next you need to stop eating my whipped cream.
It's so good.
Yeah, it looks good. We're just gonna put it in the fridge for a little bit. All right, back to the cake. Let's get this.
I'll start frosting.
You wanna frost it?
Because you could touch the fruit.
You can't even touch fruit? My gosh.
So yeah, where were we?
Just pour the frosting on.
We were talking about, I was trying to like bring it back. Kitty, shut up!
She's gonna be relentless during this.
Kitty!
Just put the frosting on. Sweetheart, come here. I know. I love you. I love you very much.
1, 2, 3.
Look at that magic. You even made the bowls disappear.
American flag.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So what do you think? Does it look appetizing?
Not at all.
But it's nice, right?
It does. I'm sure people think this is so cute, and I can't wait to eat it and try it, and it's so good.
It's gonna be really good. I actually want to try it. Can you get me a fork out of there?
Yeah.
So the last question that I want us to answer is, how are we voting this year? How do we plan to vote?
I think I still want to go to the polls. I think there's just something about going to the polls. You know, I remember when for the 2016 election, we waited in line for hours, and I loved it.
You loved it?
I felt like you were a part of something.
We were a part of something.
You know? I think, be a part of something. Be a part of our country.
Yeah.
You know? And if it's as simple as going and voting and waiting in line or whatever it is, like that's,
yeah,
you're being a part of America.
I mean, be safe, right? It is a pandemic. They're doing a lot more mail-in voting. In California, we've got universal mail-in voting. So we'll be getting our ballots in the mail. If you want to vote in person, that's fine. You just need to take your ballot with you, and then they'll be able to exchange it for a real ballot. I'm probably just going to vote by mail, put it in there.
Are you going to go
send it back?
A volunteer? Are you going to volunteer at the polls?
I was thinking of being a poll worker. Yeah, I think that would be a really good thing to do. We need
So
people.
Obviously he likes it because he keeps going in and trying it. I'm going to try it right now.
I'm so proud of you. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment below. Let me know what you think of this lovely patriotic cake. Try it at home. It's really good, it's really delicious, and it's really easy.
Yeah.
Also, email me at thesugartreatment@gmail.com. Let me know what you'd like us to talk about here on the show.
Email him, even if it's something simple. We'll both talk about it.
Well, I've gotten a lot. I actually have a couple of topics coming up that I'm planning to try to address some of our viewers'
You've
questions.
been emailing!
Yeah, so thank you very much for emailing. Thanks so much for watching. It means the world to me. I love doing these videos, and I love more that it's having an impact on our viewers out there. So can you just try this cake? Oh my God.
I'm not trying it!
You're such a jerk.